you just got to get out of your own way. I like to say, I told somebody this yesterday, that life's all mindset, and it is. And because we had the conversation of,
True.
he, he, his father died when he was young, and anybody obviously is going to be struck by that. And he was telling me,
Yeah.
that his death actually brought me to like a lot of realizations about like how precious this life is at a young age, and that's why I connect with him, because we obviously are on the same mindset about stuff.
Mm.
And I was like, and we had this whole conversation about perspective and mindset, and I told him, I'm like, that's a really, it's just a mature thing to think like that. To like,
Yeah.
a lot of people would probably think like, oh, woe is me. My father died when I was young. I never really got to know this guy. Like, why did that happen to me? Oh no. But he chose to take the mindset of like, that happened for him, that to see how sacred this life is. And if you could really think that your father dying is some kind of stroke of grace for your own being, for your own awareness and awakening, I'm like what can harm you? That's what he said. That was the topic too. He's like, yeah, I just don't really think there's nothing that can really like harm me. Like, what's worse than one of your own parents dying and when you're a kid? And I was like, you know what, that's
Yeah.
so true, dude. And then it struck me. I'm like, you know what, like, if he can have that mindset, like, what can harm me? Like, if he has that, then what can really harm me?
Yeah.
If somebody else can be that strong. And it was cool. Like, hopefully he's listening right now, and shout out, I don't want to mention his name, but it was a cool story. It was a cool experience that helped me see life in a different light, because I was like, damn, I don't even think I could do that, man. I don't think, if one of my parents died, I don't, especially at such a young age, I don't think I could say like, oh, that was, there's a reason to that. There's a silver lining. So
Yeah.
it really is like this entire life, no matter how bad something is, um, it really is perspective, and it's happening for
Yeah.
us, but not necessarily for our sensual pleasures as a being, as an egotistical, as an egoistic body. It's like for our spiritual development,
Yeah.
like for us,
Yeah.
like deep down, like not for our senses so we can get money or some kind of pleasure, not for that. It's for us to gain liberation in this incarnation.
Whoo, fire. I love that. No, because I'm right there with you. Like, I say it all the time where it comes back to that point. It's like life doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you need to
Yeah.
awaken to its beauty. Because, like,
Mm-hmm.
imagine how much of a hellhole this place would be if everyone's desires was just instantly met.
Yeah.
Like, you know how
That's
chaotic and wild it would be, especially like teenage years with all the crazy stuff going on with kids and
it wouldn't
like,
make any sense. You
no,
can't
not at
always get what you
all.
want. Like, that doesn't make sense.
It'd be absolute anarchy in the worst of ways,
Yeah.
you know, like, and I think that's the stuff that, you know, you really did touch on a really important point for people is just perspective is everything, you know, like, because for myself and the listeners, you know, like it took me having to get like arrested in high school of just doing stupid shit, of just drunk driving. And I was just like, thankfully, I didn't kill anyone or myself. And
Yeah.
it's like having to do like work release and like I was in jail for a little bit, like, and I've talked with people about that same thing because they're like, because I know people that have been in and out of jail, you know, like I've seen it. I have had friends that gone down that path. They're still, you know, in and out of rehabs and stuff. And for myself, it was well, how could you still do this and then still go to school and still graduate and still do your thing, get a job with all this stuff on your record, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, because what was my other alternative? You know,
Mm.
that's how I see things in a lot of ways where it's just
Mm-hmm.
like you're your own advocate in life and you have to fight for yourself. Like I think that's one of the things growing up with older brothers that you always learn how you have to defend yourself. You know, like and
Mm-hmm.
it's the things that I see as, you know, the independence that sometimes people have and just their own inner strengths that, you know, I'm grateful for my trial by fire. Like if I didn't grow up in like my upbringing, I would have been a softie, would have been a
Mm-hmm.
victim forever, you know, but it brought me to the doorstep of really questioning myself and understanding that like my life is in my own hands and I'm not going to let people tell me no. Like there's a will, there's a way is a saying for a reason. And it's like, it's really just emulating that into your own practice of experience that I think gets people into that different perspective change. You know, some people have it be with like a catalyst like myself, you know, and it sounds like your friend as well. And it's that suffering that I see as almost fuel. And it's like it's really funny because I don't know if you experience stuff like this, but when I've had like really crazy awakenings or downloads, it's almost felt like I was running out of breath and I finally got that release and I finally got that fresh breath of air. Like I was coming
Mm,
underneath the surface of something and I was just like, it was almost like a bubble popping. And that
yeah.
was like, for me, very just like, oh, well, I needed that. I see that as like my fuel to kind of get to the surface.
Yeah.
And without it, I would have, like, who knows where I would have been. But
Mm.
in truth, like, it already happened. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how I feel about it. Like it's literally what happened. I think that's what sports I think helped me with is recognizing it's like sometimes you can put your everything into the game and you still won't win.
Oh yeah.
That's life, yo.
Damn. Damn. Yeah, that's a good one. Wow. Wow, man.
Oh.